Well, first off, let me just tell you how incredibly blessed you are to be asked by God to go to Zimbabwe and help people there learn about the gospel. It is the greatest experience you will have, at least that I've had in my entire life. I mean, you are going to a place where people want to hear from you and they cannot wait to meet you. You're going to a place that has been dedicated to preach the gospel, and it is an amazing place, and the people there are the most amazing people you will ever meet. They're the most loving people. They will help you and they will guide you and you will guide them, and it'll be amazing. There's a scripture in Mosiah that's going to apply to your life, and it's Mosiah 18:30, and it talks about waters of Mormon and it talks about the land of Mormon, but it talks about how people that learned the gospel there treasured it for the rest of their lives, and it made a huge impact. And next to that scripture in my Book of Mormon, I wrote down, and I wrote Zimbabwe right next to it, because that is where I learned the gospel, and that is where I really have my testimony of Jesus Christ. And you're going to have that same opportunity. So I can't tell you how jealous and excited I am that you get to go there, and make the most of it. Don't let there be a day in which you get so self-absorbed that you forget that you're not there for yourself, that you're for these other people. And the happiness will come with that. So I think one of the things that I wish I had learned a little bit earlier as a missionary, especially in Zimbabwe, is because people are so willing to listen and so friendly and willing to sit down and hear the gospel. I got jaded, I guess, at a point where I wouldn't give everyone an opportunity to hear, because I would assume this person is joking, because they're not serious, because that would happen a lot. Some people would you'd teach them for weeks, but they would never seriously want to join or even open their heart to listen. They wanted you to come in and talk to them, that's all. And I regret getting jaded, because I should still have given everyone the opportunity. I was walking down the street one day with one of my companions, and this woman comes off and she goes, "Missionaries, come here, I need to talk to you." And she said it in a way that my first thought was, oh, this woman, is just here to mess with us. Let's keep walking. Let's not waste our time. But my companion, who I will praise to my dying day, was much closer to the Spirit than I and much more loving than I, says, "No, let's go and listen to what she has to say." And so we go back and we sit down with her and we're like, "Hi, how can we help you?" And and she said, "Well, I was just talking with my neighbor about this dream I had last night. And in the dream, I was met by two people in white that I thought were angels that had come to talk to me. And they said they had something really important for me. And I was asking my neighbor just now, what does she think that means?" And the neighbor says, "I don't know, but there's some two guys in white right down there. Why don't you ask them?" So then she ran out on the street and she flagged us down. And it's one of those times when you find somebody who's just been completely waiting to hear the gospel. And I almost didn't answer. In fact, I chose not to answer that. And thank goodness we work in companionships. So because there's so many people there, you just have to give them all the chance. And she became one of my favorite people in the church. Sister Ngueno is fantastic. I loved her. I still love her. And I would say, don't let that happen like I almost did. I guess there's the uniqueness of Zimbabwe is that you should open your mouth at all times. There are always days when you're feeling self-absorbed and sad, or maybe an investigator has bailed on you and it's just depressing. Because people are so willing to listen, it's it's a crime not to open your mouth and share it with everybody who will listen. That's what President Dubé worked with us on very much. We contacted hundreds of people a week, because sometimes it's as simple as just saying, hey, we want to invite you to church, and someone will show up that week, and it'll change their life. So open your mouth and be willing to talk with anybody you see. Something really fantastic about Zimbabweans is the young men, like around 16 to like 19, they have lots of free time, and they love spending it with the missionaries. You will have a few branch missionaries at all times that you can call upon to go out and teach with you, and some of them became my best friends. Like I served close with guys like Blessing and Tawanda and Tafadzwa and Mpoutle, and these guys would just, it was fantastic to serve with them, because they were basically like a third missionary, except these guys can relate very closely with everybody you teach because they live there and they might know them. And I guess what a little bit of advice would be, just make sure you're polite and you don't screw up the relationship with those guys, because you miss out on opportunities of friendship and growth. And those are the people that I talk to most still, from Zimbabwe, is because my testimony with them grew just like theirs with me grew, and those relationships are some of the most important. One of the greatest things is to see someone that you taught alongside getting their own mission call, and seeing them go out. So yeah, I guess that would be something.